Thank you for joining the lesson. Welcome all to STEM Smart Academy. Welcome all. Share the link widely with your other friends so that they can also join and enjoy the wonderful lessons we offer at STEM Smart Academy. We are going to discuss the Kenya National Mathematics Gurus Examination Council Mathematics Paper 2, Section 1 of this paper. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we start, make sure you subscribe, like, and share the video with your other friends. Our consultation number is 07 41 30 43 11. You can make a call to that particular number, or you can text us on WhatsApp. Then our team will be able to respond to you. So without wasting time, ladies and gentlemen, allow I go to question number 1 of this paper. I told you this is a very standard question paper that helps learners to prepare for their upcoming 2026 KCSE exam. For more information, feel free to reach out via this number anytime. Then our team will be able to help you. 41 30 43 11. Let us look at the first question of this paper. We are now getting to question number 1. A circle has a diameter with one end at point A 1,6. The other end of the diameter is at point B, which lies on the line 3y minus x is equivalent to 5. Given that the center of the circle lies on the x-axis, find the equation of the circle in form of x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c is equivalent to 0. So let us see how we can approach this particular question. So we are having a circle of this type. I have the end, this is the diameter, this is end A, this will be our end B, and this will be the center of our circle. So we are being told that end A has the coordinates 1, 6, and A has the coordinates 1, 6, and B lies on this line. Because we don't know the coordinates of end B, let end B have the coordinates, call it x, y. The coordinates of end B, let them be x, y. Given that the center of the circle lies on the x-axis, let the center, allow I have the coordinates of my center be equal to maybe mn. Let the coordinates of my center be mn. I want the coordinates of my center to be mn. Here we have mn as the coordinates of the center. Now, there is, how do you get the center? You know, when you look at the diameter AB, the center of your circle acts as the midpoint of the diameter. And how do we get the midpoint? Midpoint is given by x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So this means for us to get the center, we are going to have x1, which will in this case be 1 plus x divided by 2, comma, then 6 plus y divide this by 2. This should give me my center, which I've said let it be mn. Let it be mn. In that particular case, I'm organizing my work so that you can easily understand. Having said whatever I've said, ladies and gentlemen, it means that look at this case whereby they are saying that the center of the circle lies on the x-axis. That is a very important point, that the center of our circle is lying on the x-axis. What does it mean? It simply means if the center of our circle is lying on the x-axis, one thing we need to pick from that particular point is that the y-coordinate of the center of the circle becomes 0, because on the x-axis the y value is 0. So this means that our center can be given as m, 0, because it lies on the x-axis, and we know that in the x-axis the value of y is equivalent to 0. So this can be m0 as now because of that principle. This means when I take 1 plus x, when I take 1 plus x over 2, this should give me the value of m. That should give me the value of m. 1 plus that gives me the value of m. Then 6 plus y over 2 gives me the value of n, the y coordinate, which is now equivalent to 0. When I cross multiply here, it means 6 plus y. This is going to mean now that 6 plus y is equals to 0. Then it will mean that the y value here is equivalent to negative 6. So if the y value is equivalent to negative 6, that means that the y value is now equivalent to negative 6. Let us see. Now we know that the point B has the y coordinate of negative 6. Since point B now lies on the line, we are being told that that point B, let me scroll here on the top. The diameter of is at point B, which lies on the line 3y minus x is equals to 5. Because B lies along this line, we can substitute the value of y into this equation to get the x coordinate. So when you do that particular substitution, you are going to get here 3 into negative 6, 3 into negative 6 minus x is equivalent to 5. So this will mean this will be negative 18 minus 5 should give me the value of x. Therefore, x should be equivalent to negative 23. So upon getting the value of x as negative 3 and we have y as negative 6, then it means that the point B has the coordinates negative 23, negative 6. Those are the coordinates of point B. After getting them as the coordinates of point B, we can now get the midpoint, the center. We can now get, because we have it now, we can find the center, H0, not 0, H0, but M0. And how are we going to get the center? Remember, M coordinate, point M was given by 1 plus x, so that will be now 1 plus the x coordinate, which is negative 23, divide this by 2. So the value of M will be equal to, M will be equivalent to negative 11. If M is 11, remember N we said it is 0 because it lies on the x-axis, then it will mean that our center has coordinates negative 11, 0. The center has the coordinates negative 11, 0. You can see how the question paper is very standardized. After getting our center, we can also now proceed and get now the radius of the circle. How are we going to get the radius of this particular circle? Let us get the radius of the circle. So before we get the radius of the circle, I want to get, if the center here is C, allow I get the C vector CB. CB will be B minus C. Our B, remember our B is negative 23, negative 6, negative 23, negative 6, minus our C is negative 11, 0, negative 11, 0, So that means that our CB will be given by, when you take, that will be like negative 23 plus 11 to make it negative 12. This will be negative 12, negative 6. Then now to get the radius, it will be the square root of negative 12 squared plus negative 6 squared. This will be equivalent to negative 12 squared, that will be 144 plus 36. The square root of 180, this will be the square root of 180 is our radius. The square root of 180 is our radius, ladies and gentlemen. After getting that as our radius, we want now to get, given that this, find the equation of the circle. How do you get the equation of the circle? Remember, x minus a squared plus y minus b squared should be equals to r squared. That is the general equation of the circle, where a and b are the coordinates of the center of the circle. So we are going to have this as x minus the x coordinate here is the center is let me see, negative 11. So this one is going now to become x minus negative 11 will be like saying x plus 11 squared plus y minus 0 squared should be equal to the root of 180, which is our radius. Then you square that. When you work it out, this is going to become like x squared plus 22x plus 121 plus y squared will now be equal to, remember 0 squared is just a 0. Then the square root of 180, when you square, the square and the square cancel, so this one will become equivalent to 180. I hope you can see the flow of this particular question in a very systematic manner. Now, because we need to write our answer in this format, x squared, so I'll start with x squared now, plus our y squared will be y squared that way, plus 22x, this is plus 22x. Then, when you move this one to the other side, this will be now 121 minus 180. 121 minus 180 becomes negative 59. Is equivalent to 0. That becomes the equation of your circle, ladies and gentlemen. If you feel you've understood that process one by one, go to the chat section and drop a comment saying, I am learning. If you feel you've gained something, go drop a comment telling us that you are learning. That becomes the equation. Allow we end that question at that particular point, ladies and gentlemen. Let us have a look at question number 2 of this wonderful paper. Make h the subject of the formula. You've been given P. You've been given P is equivalent to the root of hk plus b all over c plus d. We need to make h the subject of the formula. Step number 1 in making h the subject of the formula, we need to get rid of this square root. So we need to get rid of the square root by squaring each term. So I'm going to put this one squared, this one squared, this one squared, also this one squared. When you square everything, we are going to have this as p squared is equal to the square and the square root cancels. So I'll have that as hk plus b over c squared plus d squared. Step number 2, I can decide to remove this. I can take the d squared to the other side, whereby I'm going to have now p squared minus d squared should be equals to hk plus b over the c squared. How do I remove the c squared? I can cross multiply to the other side. So this will become c squared into p squared minus d squared, which will be equals to hk plus b. hk plus b. Upon reaching this particular step, this will now become c squared p squared, c squared p squared minus c squared d squared is equivalent to hk plus b. Then what happens? Even the b crosses to the left. I'm now going to have this as c squared p squared minus c squared d squared, then minus b should be equals to h k. How do I remain with k? With h, I divide both sides by k. So this will be now c squared p squared minus c squared d squared minus b over k is equivalent to h. So this means that your h will now be c squared p squared minus c squared d squared minus b, all of this being divided by k. That is how you solve that particular question, by making h the subject of the formula. By making h the subject of the formula. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video with your other friends so that they can also follow well. Question number 3. We are now going very well to question number 3. A mechanic recorded the fuel efficiency in kilometers of 8 matatus on a Nairobi-Naivasha highway on a given day as follows. You can see this. This is, let me arrange them in vertical manner. This can be my data x. So this is 11.4, 13.2, 10.8, 12.5. Then I can talk about this as 11, 11.9, 14.1, 12.0, then 10.7. This is the data. We are being told to calculate the absolute deviation, the mean absolute deviation. First of all, let's get the mean. To get our mean, which is our x bar, it will be given by our mean will be given by 11.4 plus 13.2 plus 10.8 plus 12.5 plus 11.9 plus 14.1 plus 12.0 plus 10.7, all of this being divided by 8. Let us get our x bar, our mean. So when I take 11.4 plus 13.2 plus 10.8 plus 12.5 plus 11.9 plus 14.1 plus 12.0 plus 10.7, then I divide this by 8, I'm getting 12.05. That is our mean, 12.05 as our mean. After getting that as our mean, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the right track. All now we need is to build the confidence. I hope I've done it well. Let me just confirm maybe how I've done my additions. It's good to confirm for higher level of accuracy. 11.4 plus 13.2 plus 10.8 plus 12.5 plus 11.9 plus 14.1 plus 12.0 plus 10.7. Then divide this by 8 because there are 8 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That becomes 12.05. Then let's get our deviation, our D, which is given by x minus x bar. Our deviation here now will be, our x is 11.4. So when I have 11.4 minus 12.05, that becomes negative 0.65. Negative 0.65. 13.2 minus 12.05, that becomes 1.15. 1.15. 10.8, you minus, that becomes negative 1.25. Negative 1.25. Then 12.5, when you minus, you get 0.45. Then 11.9, when you minus, you get negative 0.15. Negative 0.15. Then 14.1, when you minus, you get 2.05. Then 12.0, when you minus, you get negative 0.05. This is negative. This is negative 0.05. Then 10.7, when you minus, you get negative 1.35. 1.35. So those are the deviations from the mean. Those are the deviations from the mean. But now, because the question talks about the mean absolute deviation, not just the deviation. Absolute deviation is you ignore the negative sign. So this will be now 0.65, 1.15, negative 1. Sorry, you no longer again put the negative. You disregard the negative. So this will be 1.25, 0.45, 0.15, 2.05, 0.05, 1.35. Let us get the summation. Summation of the absolute deviation. This will be 0.65 plus 1.15 plus 1.25 plus 0.45 plus 0.15 plus 2.05 plus 0.05 plus 1.35. This becomes 7.05. 7.05 as the summation of the absolute deviation. Now when they talk about the mean absolute deviation, they are now talking about the mean absolute deviation. The mean absolute deviation is given by the summation of the absolute deviation divided by the number of items. This will be 7.05 divided by 8. When you divide 7.05 by 8, you're going to get this as 0.88125. 0.88125 as your answer, ladies and gentlemen. Very good presentation there. I hope you've gained something. Let us make progress now to question number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, rationalize the, question number 4. It's a very good question. Rationalize the expression 1 over root 3 minus 1 plus 2 all over root 3 plus 1. So when you have this, we are going to have it this way. This will be like saying when you have 1 over root 3 minus 1 plus 2 over root 3 plus 1. First get the LCM of the denominator. The LCM of the denominator will just be the product of these sides. Root 3 minus 1 multiplied by root 3 plus 1. So that is the LCM of the denominators. Take the LCM divided by the denominator of the first fraction. So root 3 minus root 1 and root 3 minus root 1 will cancel out. Then I'll be left with 1 into root 3 plus 1. Then plus 2 into, when I take the LCM, I divide by the second denominator. I'll be left with root 3. I'm left with root 3. I'm now left here with root 3 minus 1. That way. So on opening the brackets in the numerator, this will be root 3 plus 1 plus 2 root 3 minus 2 all over. The denominator, when you look at it, that's just like a difference of 2 squares. So I'm going to square root 3 squared. When I square root 3 squared, I'm going to have that as 3 minus 1 squared, which is 1, that way. So let us make some effort once again here. So root 3 plus 2 root 3, that is going to give you 3 root 3, 3 root 3, then plus 1 minus 2, that will be minus 1 all over 2. So when you have that way, leave your answer in the simplest form. This can be written as now, root 3 divided by 2 will become 1.5 root 3 minus 0.5. 1.5 root 3 minus 0.5. That becomes the answer of that SAD in its simplest form, ladies and gentlemen. A wonderful discussion. Let us make progress now to question number 5. A tea blending company mixes 2 grades of tea. Grade A bought at 360 shillings per kg and grade B bought at 480 shillings per kg. By selling the blended mixture at 486 shillings per kg, the company makes a 12.5% profit. Calculate the cost price of 1 kg of the mixture. So to get the cost price, this means if, we're going to say if 125, is it really 125? No. When you take 100 plus 12.5, when you take 100 plus 12.5, that will be 112. So if 112.5% is equivalent to 486 shillings, what about the cost price that is normally at 100%? You cross multiply. So to get the cost price, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to take 100 times 486 divided by 112.5. And this is going to give you, when I take 100 times 486, then I divide this by 112.5, I'm getting 432 shillings. I'm getting 432 shillings as the cost price of 1 kg of the mixture. That earns you 1 mark. Part B, determine the ratio in which A and B were blended. I can have here, I am going to use the first method is called the Pearson square method. With the Pearson square method, this is how I'm going to have. Remember, I had here A, I had my B here. So A was being bought at 360. B was being bought at 480. And the mixture got sold at 432. So this is how the Pearson square works. You cross them diagonally. Then you get the absolute difference. 480 minus 432, you get this as 48. Then 432, you less 360, you get this as 72. So in that we are getting the ratio. The ratio is 48 is to 72, which can simplify to 48 is to 72 can be simplified to 2 is to 3. That is the ratio. Method 2, let me show you another alternative method, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, such methods are there for free by STEM Smart Academy only. I'm here to give you all the 2 methods so that you choose the one that you find easier on your side. We have A, we have B. A is being sold at 360, B at 480. I can say let the ratio of A be X, this one here be Y. So the cost price can be given this way. 460, let me have it this way, that 432 can be equal to 360x plus 480y divided by the total ratio, which is x plus y. So that will mean when I cross multiply, I'm going to get 432x plus 432y is equal to 360x plus 480y. Upon collecting like terms, this will be 432x minus 360x is equal to 480y minus 432y. So when you take 432, you minus 360, you're going to get this as 72x being equal to 48y. And if that is the case, I want to get the ratio of x is to y. So I can decide, let me divide here by 72. I've divided here by 72. I want you to be very, very keen, ladies and gentlemen. I've also divided the left by 72, the left and the right. So in that particular case, I'm left with x is equal to 48 over 72 y. To remove this y, I multiply here by 1 over y. This other side also by 1 over y. This and this goes. So I'm going to get x over y being equal to 48 over 72, which can simplify such that this will be 24 here will be 2, 24 here will be 3. So if x over y is 2 to 3, then x is to y will be equals to 2 is to 3, which we had found here using even the Pearson square method. You can see how such questions can be solved using either of the methods. If you feel you've understood something there, give a thumbs up. Don't forget dropping a comment in the chat section saying, I am learning, so that I can track the progress of my learners. Let us make our progress. We are now supposed to go to question number 6. This is a wonderful discussion, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very big, valuable questions to help you prepare well for your KCSE exams. To help you prepare very well for your KCSE exams 2026. STEM Smart Academy has all it takes to get the best out of your learners, out of you as a learner. Someone is asking when I'm going to present the physics papers. I'm going to make sure that before the weekend, physics is also there. Thank you for the concern. I'm seeing many people following. That is kudos. Back to question number 6, ladies and gentlemen. Part A says, using the identity sin x squared plus cos x squared is equal to 1, solve the equation 3 cos squared x minus sin x minus 1 is equal to 0 for x ranging from 0 to 360. Wonderful. This examiner has even made our work simpler by telling us that sin squared x plus cos squared x is equivalent to 1. That is what we've learned in Form 4, trigonometry 3. So if that is the case, it will mean that sin squared, if I have sin squared x plus cos squared x equals to 1, it means if I make sin squared x, if I make cos squared x the subject of the formula, allow I make cos squared x here the subject of the formula, I'm going to have cos squared x being equivalent now to 1 minus sin squared x. Then I'm going to substitute this into my equation. Instead of saying 3 cos squared x, I'm now going to say 3 into 1 minus sin squared x. Then minus sin x minus 1 is equal to 0. Let us open the brackets. This will be now 3 minus 3 sin squared x minus sin x minus 1 is equal to 0. I can now say let sin x be k. If that is the case, this will be now 3 minus 3k squared minus k minus 1 is equal to 0. See how simple mathematics is from STEM Smart Academy. When we are here, this is like saying negative k squared. Is it really k? No, negative 3k squared. This is negative 3k squared negative 3k squared minus k, then 3 minus 1, that will become plus 2 is equivalent to 0, is equivalent to 0. I'm looking for two numbers such that the sum is negative 1 and the product is negative 6. The sum is negative 1, the product is negative 6. So let us look for the number such that the sum is negative 1, the product is negative 6. The two numbers are negative 3, 2. That way. So this will be now minus 3k squared minus 3k plus 2k plus 2 is equals to 0. Factoring out, k is common on both sides, so 3k. So this will be now negative 3k into k plus 1, then plus 2 into k plus 1 is equal to 0. This will mean I'm going to have k plus 1, then 2 minus 3k being equivalent to 0. Look at that question well, follow keenly, and drop a comment if you are gaining what the question is testing out of you as a learner. So this will mean the first case we're going to have k plus 1 is equals to 0. That will mean that the value of k will be equivalent to -1. In the next case we have 2 minus 3k is equal to 0. It will mean k will be equivalent to 2 over 3. The value of k will be equivalent to 2 over 3. Now, upon reaching that particular step, remember what was our k? We had said let our k be what? Sine x. So this will mean that sine x is now equivalent maybe to -1. So what will be the value of x? Let us draw a unit circle at this particular point. All students take computer. If that is our unit circle, if sine x is equivalent to -1, then what is the value of x? The sine inverse of 1 is 90. So that means that x is going to be 90. After getting now the value of x is 90 degrees, we are now going to see and traverse the quadrants where sine is negative. Sine is negative in the third and fourth quadrants. Remember, in the this is theta. This is 180 minus theta. This one here is 180 plus theta. Then 360 minus theta. So if x is 90 degrees, we are going only to consider where sine is negative in this particular case. That is the third quadrant, which is 180 plus 90. When you take 180 plus 90, you get 270. It means the value of x can be 270. It is within the range. Or in this other case where they do say 360 minus 90, which is still 270. So x is just 270 according to this where sine is -1. Then let us see this other case whereby they said k can be 2 over 3. That means that sine x is equivalent to 2 over 3. Therefore, the value of x will be the sine inverse of 2 over 3. So when you press the sine inverse of 2 over 3, ladies and gentlemen, that is giving you 41.81 degrees. Then after that, we are now going to traverse where sine is positive. Sine is positive in the first and second quadrant. In this case, sine is positive in the first and second quadrants alone. So it will mean in the first quadrant, it is theta, meaning x can be 41.81. In the second quadrant, it is 180 minus theta. So that is going to be 180 minus 41.81. This gives 138.19. 138.19 degrees. So in combination, therefore, x will be given as 41.81, 138.19 degrees, then finally 270 degrees. Those are the possible values of x. Part B says, hence, determine the value of x in the for which 3 cos squared x minus 20 minus sine x minus 20 minus 1 is equivalent to 0. When you look at that particular case, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do in this particular case? We are going to say here you need to be very, very keen with the question. Very keen. I'm seeing so many people tuning in. That is excellent work. You can even tag the name of your mathematics teacher so that he or she can feel appreciated wherever they are. Remember, all this is being brought to you by STEM Smart Academy, free of charge. All you need is an access to the digital device, maybe a smartphone or a laptop or a tablet or a smart TV. Then everything will now become easier on your side. Everything will become easier on your side. Now let us focus on this part B. We are now going to relate part B to part A because they are using the term hence, meaning that there is a coexisting relationship. When you look at the equation, 3 cos squared into x minus 20 minus this minus sine x minus 20 minus 1, we notice that this equation has the exact same structure as the one in part A. It has almost the exact same structure. But with now x minus 20 replacing the x in part A. You can see wherever there is an x in part A, in part B they are using x minus 20. So that means from part A we found the 3 cos squared x minus sine x minus 1 is equals to 0 satisfied when sine x was 2 over 3 or negative 1. That one we got in part A. In part B, our x is now going to be x minus 20. So we need to solve. I'm now going to solve now sine x minus 20. Sine x minus 20 can be equal to negative 1 or 2 over 3. Sine x minus 20, because remember, x minus 20 is just like saying the x in this particular equation at the top here. And bearing that now in mind, this means, let me deal first with this part that sine x minus 20 is equivalent to negative 1. So it means that x minus 20 is now going to be the sine inverse of 1. The sine inverse of 1 is 90. So that means that x minus 20 is equivalent to 90. Then we are going now to see where is sine negative. Sine is negative in the third quadrant. And in the third quadrant, we can see it is 180 plus theta. So when I take 180 plus theta, I'm going to get x minus 20 being equivalent to 270. Also in the third quadrant where it is 360 minus theta. So it's just like that. That will mean if I have it in that particular case, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to be very, very, very mature here when we are solving it. This is going to imply, if you look at it very, very well, the value of x is now going to be 270 plus the 20 when it crosses over. So x will be equivalent to 290 degrees. Our x in that case is going to be equivalent to 290 degrees. Let us move this one out to be equivalent to 290 degrees. In the other case, we had we had the sine of x minus 20 being equivalent to 2 over 3. That will mean that x minus 20 will be equal to the sine inverse of 2 over 3. This means that x minus 20 is equal to 41.81. Then we are now going to see the quadrant where sign is positive. Sign is positive in the first quadrant. That means that x minus 20 will be equal to just the 41.81 itself. Or in the second quadrant, where it is 180 minus theta, which is now 180 minus 41.81, that is going to become 138.19. When you have those particular values, ladies and gentlemen, what are we going to do? We are now going to collect the like terms. Not really the like terms, but we are now going to subtract to add 20 to both sides because it is crossing over. So this means my x will be given by, when I add 20, this will be 61.81 plus 20, this will be 158.19. That means the values for x are now going to be, the values for x are now going to be 61.81, 158.19, and 290 degrees. A very wonderful question once again. They are all within the range. I love how this question paper is structured. Wonderful. If you are enjoying this session the same way as I do, as I'm bringing to you live, don't forget to drop that comment in the chat section. Now let us go to the next question. That is question number 7 of our discussion. Keep subscribing, liking, and sharing these videos with your other friends. A rectangle has its length exceeding its width by 2 root 3. The area of the rectangle is 12 plus 8 root 3. By letting the width to be x, form a quadratic equation in x for its area. Let us have the diagram. This is our rectangle. Letting the width to be x, so this width is x. The length is exceeding its width by 2 root 3. So if the width is x, then the length will be x plus 2 root 3. Form an expression in x for the area. How do you get area? Area is given by length multiplied by the width. So this will be x plus 2 root x. X plus 2 root 3. We are having x plus 2 root 3. That is our length multiplied by the width, which is x. This will be given as x squared plus 2x root 3. That is the expression for the area. Part B, hence find the roots of the equation formed in 7a. If this is the expression for the area, ladies and gentlemen, it simply means that this x squared plus 2x root 3 is equivalent to 12 plus 8 root 3, which is our area. So this means that in the first case, we are going to have x squared is equals to 12. Then it will mean that x will be given as the square root of 12. The first value of x will be the square root of 12. I want you to be very, very keen with this question. Once again, I told you the paper is of quality standards. What we bring to you under STEM Smart Academy is something that you won't regret having taken your time to learn, because I'm sure you'll be learning a lot and a lot. So let us make the progress, ladies and gentlemen. The progress is very fantastic. The progress is very, very fantastic here. I'm trying to see, should we do it this way, or I can move this one to the other side and get it done. Hence find the roots. We need to have this one solved. So the first case, we are going to have x being equals to root 12. In the next case, we have 2x root 3. We are having 2x root 3, 2x root 3 being equal to 8 root 3. This means that 2x is equivalent to 8, and that will mean that my x will be equivalent to 4. My x will be equivalent to 4. Should we approach it in that direction, or we can consider another alternative? Let me see. We need to get the roots. When we try to solve it, let me see. I'm trying to see how easier we can have this one done. Hence find the roots. So we have x being equal to 4 and x being equals to root 12. So that means, remember, how do you get the roots? How do we usually get the roots? Did I find the roots of the equation? We are looking at it in this dimension. Hence find the roots. This means that x can be equal to 4 or root 12. X can be equal to 4 or root 12. If x is 4, find the roots of the equation. Yes, like that. Let us go to the next question. We are now going to question number 12. Another fantastic question that each and every student has to give a listening ear for you to get it correct. Give me your attention. Pause whatever you are doing. For whatever I'm bringing to you here is mwacheche. It is mwacheche. A triangular pyramid has a vertex O vertically above the plane ABC. The base ABC is a right angled triangle at A, such that AB to AC is 3:4 and AB is equal to 6 centimeters. The height OA is 12 centimeters and the perpendicular plane to the perpendicular plane ABC. So what we are going to do here, the question is find the angle between the plane OAB, hope you can see the OAB, and the ABC. 3D form for work. Wonderful. So first of all, allow I draw the base. This base, I want it to be this way. We are having a base that tends to look like this. If I make it vertical, we are having such like a base. Say that this angle here is 90 at A. Then this is C, this is B. We are being told from the statement, AB to AC, AB is 3, to AC, which is 4. But these 3, AB to AC, AB itself is 6 centimeters. So this means that 3/4 in ratio form can be equivalent to 3 is representing 6. What about 4? 4 is representing AC. This will mean that my AC will be given by 4 times 6 divided by 3. This means our AC will be equivalent to 8 centimeters. Hope you can see the measure. This is now 8 centimeters. After getting that measure as 8 centimeters, identify the line of intersection between planes. Oh, remember, if you get, how do you get the angle between two planes? Angle between two planes is found by getting the angle formed at the line joining the two planes. So we have to identify the line of intersection of the two planes. OAB, let us see, OAB and ABC. When you look at it well, the line joining the two planes is the line segment AB. You can see the line segment AB, this particular line, AB here, is the line joining those particular two planes. Then if that is the line joining those particular two planes, find a line in plane OAB. Look at OAB. That is perpendicular to the plane ABC. OA is perpendicular to every line on plane ABC. Remember that. OA is perpendicular to every line, on plane ABC passing through point A. Thus, the line OA is perpendicular to AB. You can now see that OA can be perpendicular to OB. And if to AB. And if that becomes the case, then now we have to find a line in plane ABC perpendicular to AB at A. A line, I'm saying we need to find a line in plane ABC, the bottom plane, perpendicular to AB, perpendicular to this line AB at A. Since triangle ABC is a right angle at A, then AC is perpendicular to AB. You can see AC and AB is perpendicular to they are perpendicular, 90 degrees getting formed there. Now, to determine the angle between the two planes, this is simply the angle between OA and AC. The angle between OA and AC. Are you seeing OA? Are you now able to see AC? All right. And that means to get that, the angle between OA and AC, this angle here. Let us see how else we are going to maneuver with it. Remember our AB was 6. Did we get OA? OA here is 12. Then they want this particular angle. I'm just trying to see what is happening here. What is happening here? So, this should simply the angle OAC. This is the angle we need to compute. In the right angle triangle OAC, we have OA as 12 and AC as 8. Are you able to see that? That means that when you look at it well, when you take tan theta, it's going to be the opposite, which is 12, over the adjacent, which is going to be 8 in this particular case. Then it will mean that my theta will be given by the tan inverse of 12 over 8. Let us use our calculator as well. Let us use our calculators. when you press the tan inverse of 12 over 8, you're going to get this as 56.31 degrees. 56.31 degrees. That is the angle formed. So the answer here is 56.31 degrees. I hope you can follow along the working and the explanations. Let us go to question number 9. Remember, our consultation number remains 07 41 30 43 11. You can make a call anytime, or you can make a text, then we'll be able to work to you. Back to the question. Solve for x in the equation log to base 5 of x squared plus log to base 5 of x is equal to 2. I can say here, let log to base 5 of x be k. This will mean that k squared plus k is equivalent to 2. So this can be k squared plus k minus 2 is equals to 0. So I'm going to look for two numbers whose sum is -1. So whose sum is 1 and whose product is -2. So what are the two numbers? The sum is 1, the product is -2. So this should be -1, 2, such that the sum is 1, but the product is -2. When you have that, ladies and gentlemen, we can now work it out further by taking this as k squared, minus k plus 2k minus 2 equals to 0. This will be k into k minus 1 plus 2 into k minus 1 is equals to 0. This will be k plus 2, k minus 1 is equivalent to 0. In the first case, k plus 2 is equal to 0, meaning the value of k will be -2. In the next case, we have k minus 1 is equals to 0, meaning k can be +1. So, when we reach that particular step, I want you to be very keen. So it means that k can be -2 or +1. But what was our k? We had said let log to base 5 of x be k. So this means log to base 5 of x is equivalent to 1. How do I get the value of x? It will mean x, this one I'm now going to change from logarithmic form to index form. X will be given by 5 power 1, making the value of x to be equivalent to 5. In the first case, x is equal to 5. In the next case, again, I'm going to say log to base 5 of x is equivalent to -2. This will mean that 5 raised to power -2 is equal to x. And what is 5 raised to power -2, ladies and gentlemen? 5 raised to power -2 is 0.04, or we can talk about 1 over 5, 1 over 25. So x can be 1 over 25. So if I solve for x, I'm going to say x is equal to 1 over 25, or x can be said to be equal to 5. Those are the possible values of x. Wonderful discussions, ladies and gentlemen. I love the questions in this paper. I don't know if you're also enjoying them. I have a feeling that this paper has the standards that a KCSE exam can have. It has the standards that a KCSE exam can have. So take the discussion very serious. Drop comments where you need clarification. or you can even reach out via that particular number. Let us now go and have a look at question number 10, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very intense discussion. I love it. I really love, and it is my hope that even my learners are enjoying the same way I'm also enjoying it. The same way I'm also enjoying it. Now, to question number 10. 2 points A and B have position vectors OA 2i plus 3j and OB 8i plus 8j. A point P lies on the line AB such that it divides AB externally in the ratio k:1. If the position vector of P is given as OP is equal to 14i plus 15j, determine the value of k. So this is an external division, ladies and gentlemen. This is an external division. So if this is an external division, we need to be very keen here. First of all, let's get the total ratio. It will be k plus -1. So the total ratio will be k minus 1. After getting that as our total ratio, let us have it this way. If this is our origin, or this is our, let me call this our A, this is our B, this is our P. So that means that it divides in the ratio k is to -1. So this means this will be k, this will be -1. I know someone will ask me where I'm getting the negative. This is an external division. If the term externally appears, then there should be no negative sign here. Otherwise, that ratio would have been k is to -1 that way. So this one will be going here, this one will be coming here. So it will mean that OP, applying the ratio theorem, can be given as -1 over the total ratio, which is k minus 1 of OA plus k over k minus 1 of OB. That's how you get OP. When you apply that case, OP is 14i plus 15j. That's going out to be 14, 15 as a column vector, is equivalent to -1 over k minus 1 into OA, which is 2, 3, plus k over k minus 1 into OB, which is 8, 9. Wonderful. So this means when you are at that particular, when we are at that particular step, what are we going to do? When we are at that particular step, we are almost breaking this question down into exactly what we need. We are now going to say that when we solve this, I'm looking at it in a certain perspective. I can say this must be a very, very funny question. I can decide to get rid of, can I get rid of that? Yes, I can decide to get rid of that denominators by multiplying both sides by k minus 1. Let me multiply both sides by k minus 1 to remove the denominators. I multiply this side by k minus 1. This side here by k minus 1 still. This side also here by k minus 1. I hope you can see that. So when you multiply, this will become now k minus 1 times that will become 14k minus 14. This will become 15k minus 15. Be very keen now, being equal to k minus 1 and k minus 1 will cancel. So this one, when you open the brackets, will become negative 2, negative 3. Then this and this will cancel. You'll get plus 8k, 9k. I hope that step has been well understood. I hope the step has been well understood. I was trying to eliminate the denominator to make my work easier. So in the first case, I'm going to have 14k minus 14 will be equivalent to negative 2 plus 8k. When you collect like terms, this will be 14k minus 8k is equal to negative 2 plus 14. 14k minus 8k, this will be 6k is equivalent to negative 12. Sorry, this should be equivalent to positive 12, not negative 12. This paper is a very standard paper. How I wish that the KCSE 2026 can resemble this paper. This will be 12. So the value of k in this case will be 2. Because if 6k is equals to 12, then it means that our value of k is going to be 2. Our k is going to be equivalent to 2. We can even verify that by checking down this other part. How are we going to verify that? Allow I verify by equating the lower equations. I know someone might be wondering, how am I getting all this logic? This is simple mathematics that by daily practice, it will be in your fingertips. We can have this as 15k minus 15, 15k minus 15, being equivalent to negative 3 plus 9k. Upon collecting like terms, we are going to have this as 15k minus 9k is equal to negative 3 plus 15. So when you take 15k minus 9k, this will be 6k equal to 12. Still you get k being equivalent to 2. Sorry, k being equivalent to 2. So no matter the ones you pick, you're going to get still the value of k as 2. Remember, the question is you just get the value of k. A very, very wonderful question. This is a very, very wonderful question paper. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video with your other friends. The paper is very standard and enjoyable, ladies and gentlemen. I like what STEM Smart Academy is bringing live to learners. Remember, all of this is just free of charge. All of this is free of charge, ladies and gentlemen. No need to struggle, dear learners. No need to struggle, dear learners. Let us have a look at question number 11. Let us have a look at question number 11. Two cards are picked at random from a bag containing cards numbered 1 to 7. without replacement. Write down all the possible outcomes for this event. So the best way of doing it, let me have this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is what is called a probability space. I'm going to use a probability space to make my learners understand exactly what is required of them in such like questions. Many learners often are used to tree diagrams, but when you look at the current KCSE setting trends, they are shifting to questions on probability space. So there is a need to you as a learner to do a lot of practice, consult your teachers, and make sure before you go to that KCSE 2026 exam, you are well versed with the probability space. I'm going to explain this in details so that you understand how enjoyable probability is if you know what you are doing. If you know what you are doing, it's going to become very, very, very sweet. Very, very, very sweet. Very, very sweet. Let us start. This time round, I'm going to use an ink pen. Remember, there is no replacement and only one is being picked. Assume the first ball that has been picked is a 1. So this one you cannot pick another one. The next pick will be 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, or 1, 7. If the first pick was a 2, the next pick can be 2, 1, or you cannot pick 2, 2 because 2 has already been picked. It can be after picking 2, you can pick 3. After picking 2, you can pick 4. After picking 2, you can pick 5. After picking 2, you can pick, after picking the 2, you can pick 6. Or after picking the 2, you can pick a 7. If the first pick you picked a 3, in the next pick you can pick 3, you can pick 1. In the next pick maybe you can pick 3, 2. But you cannot pick another 3 because it has already been picked. So this one here we don't count on it because it is without replacement. Then this can be 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 7. In the next one, if you picked 4, it can be 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3. You cannot pick a 4, so you'll go pick 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7. If you pick 5, it will be 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4. You cannot pick another 5 because it has already been picked. So this one here, I will not account on it. Then this will be 5, 6. Then 5, 7. Then this will be 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5. You cannot pick a 6 because it has already been picked. Therefore, this one here is not used. Then 6, 7. Then we have 7, 1, 7, 2, 7, 3, 7, 4, 7, 5, 7, 6, but you cannot pick another 7. So that one is like that. So that is a probability space. But now they say, write all the possible outcomes for this event. we are supposed to write all the possible outcomes for the particular event. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the beauty of loving mathematics. The beauty of loving mathematics, dear learners, is here with us. You can see very enjoyable questions here that are worth the discussion. Very enjoyable questions worth the discussion. Keep subscribing and following keenly as we pump knowledge onto your heads. It is very important that at times you also keep checking. So let us list the possible outcomes. So how are we going to put our answers? We are going to have them in brackets 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, then 2, 1, 2, 3, because you cannot have 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, then 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 7. Then we are going to have this as 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. Sorry, we cannot have 4, 4. You cannot have 4, 4. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. That means we are going to have this as 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7. Then 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 7, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 7. Then finally we are having 7, 1, 7, 2, 7, 3, 7, 4, 7, 5, 7, 6. You cannot have 7, 7. That is the beauty of probability. Part B, we are being told, find the probability that the sum of the numbers on the two cards picked is greater than 7. So, let us see how we make. First, how many outcomes are here? They were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But minus 7. So the total is 42. So let us see the ones that give a summation that is more than 7. I think I can just count how many are not giving 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 12. There are 12. So when I take 42 minus 12, that will it be 30? I'm trying to see numbers of outcomes that give the sum that is I'm trying to see what is happening here. Find the probability that the sum of the numbers picked is greater than 7. Let us see the one that give a sum that is greater than 7. I'm going to use a green pen to mark them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The one that's greater than 7. Those are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. They are 24. So the probability here, when you count the ones that when you add, they'll be more than 7. It's going to be 24. Out of the total possible outcomes, 42. 24 out of 42. A very, very standard question. A very, very good question paper. I love how the question is tested. I love how the question is being tested here. Ladies and gentlemen, are you also enjoying the same thing? The same way I do enjoy? If yes, then don't forget thumbs up. Don't forget giving a thumbs up. Don't forget giving a thumbs up for such a wonderful discussion. Let us go to question number 11. Question number 11, ladies and gentlemen. Let us see what the question is. Let us see how the question is. The following figure is a right-angled triangle PQR in which angle QPR is 30 degrees. PR is 4 plus 2 root 3 centimeters. Without using mathematical tables or a calculator, find the exact length of QR and express your answer in the form of A plus B root C. When you get this, remember they want the exact value, the exact length of QR. So let us borrow something from the soccer tour. You can see they want QR. So this is the opposite hypotenuse. I'm going to use opposite hypotenuse. I'm going to use sine. So I know that sine 30 will be given by the opposite, which is QR, over the hypotenuse, which is 4 plus 2 root r. 4 plus 2 root r. But now what is sine 30? What is sine 30, ladies and gentlemen? Sine 30 is more like a half. Sine 30 is normally a half. And how do you know it's a half? Remember the equilateral triangle that we used to draw that measures 2, 2. Then when you subdivide this, this will be 1, 1. So this is 60. This is 30. This will be root 3. So when you talk about opposite hypotenuse, so sine 30 is equivalent to a half. So this is like saying a half is equal to QR all over 4 plus 2 root, should be root 3, not root r. Did I put root r This should be root 3. I'm really enjoying this question paper, and it is my hope that even those who are following are enjoying it the same way I do. I'll keep doing these questions and even forget my supper. So how do you get QR? QR will be given by a half into 4 plus 2 root 3. A half into 4 plus 2 root 3. When you open this further, you're going to get your QR now, ladies and gentlemen, as 2 plus root 3. 2 plus root 3 are that way. But now they want to leave your answer in the form of A root B plus C. So it will mean my QR will be given by root 3 plus 2. That is the answer for that beautiful question, ladies and gentlemen. Let us go to question number 15. So number 13, question number 13. A question on binomial expansion, where math is being broken down, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm very ready for the question, ladies and gentlemen. 13A says, expand and simplify 1 plus 4 root 4, 1 plus x root 4 up to the term x power 2, expressing the result in ascending powers of x. So we are told to expand and simplify. This will be 1 power 4 into x power 0, 1 power 3 into x power 1, 1 power 2 into x to the power of 2. Remember, they have just said until when x is power 2. So we are just working at that up to that particular point. So let's go and let's go to the binomial expansion, the Pascal's triangle. Pascal's triangle, binomial coefficients. They are here. For 4, this is what you are going to look. 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. This is 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. So this will be like saying, when you inside the coefficients, this will be like saying 1 plus 4x plus 6x squared. I've done the expansion, as simple as that. Part B says, hence solve 1 plus this is equivalent to this 1 plus 4x plus x squared minus this. I'm looking at it in another dimension. This would mean, I'm looking at it at a good angle. But now the big challenge is, learners are not used to such a question in type B, in part B. But now that's where STEM Smart Academy comes in. You can see what you might not have learned in 4 years will be explained to you in detail just in less than 5 minutes under STEM Smart Academy. Kindly share the link widely to your other friends so that they also benefit the same way as you do. When you talk about the question, remember 1 plus x to the power of 4, we've expanded it and gotten it as 1 plus 4x plus 6x squared. Now this is equivalent to 1 plus 4x plus 6x squared minus 0.04x minus 0.0004. That would mean, let me show you how it's going to happen. The 1 and the 1 will cancel. 4x and 4x will cancel. 6x squared and 6x squared will cancel. So I'm going to have here 0 is equals to negative 0.04 x u minus 0.0004. This would mean that 0.004x, sorry, I should be single 0. Let us see. 0.04x is equals to negative 0.0004. To get x, you divide here by 0.04. You also divide here by 0.04. This one and this goes. So what will be the value of x? Ladies and gentlemen, we now need to get the value of x. When I take negative 0.0004 divided by 0.04, this will be 0.01. So my x is 0.01. I've gotten my x as 0.01. What are we going now to do? Remember, we are now supposed to solve this. So this is now going to become, after getting x as 0.01, we are now going now to say our answer will now be, because we need to solve this, 1 plus 4x plus 6x squared minus 0.04x minus 0.0004. This will now become 1. Remember, so it will be 1 plus 4 into 0.01 plus 6 into 0.01. This should be negative literally. There should be a negative sign. Negative 0.01 squared minus 0.04 into negative 0.01, then minus 0.0004. So this will be like saying, when you work it out together, let me see, 1 plus 4 into negative 0.01, then plus 6 into that one squared, then minus 0.04 into that one, then now you minus 0.004. You get 0.957. 0.957 as the answer to that particular problem. Wonderful discussion, worth the challenge. Keep subscribing, liking, and sharing the videos with your other friends so that they can also join and enjoy these lessons. Let's go to question number 14. Remember, our number still remains 07, 41, 30, 43, 11. Support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel so that we don't miss out any update posted to us, so that we don't miss on any update posted to us. Let's look at that particular question in depth and what it entails. A transformation is represented by the matrix T, k plus 2, 2, 3k minus 1. A trapezium of the area 6.5 square centimeters is mapped onto an image of area 58.5 square centimeters under a transformation T. Determine all the possible values of K. First of all, allow I get what is called the area scale factor. Area scale factor is given by image area, or rather the area of the image over the area of the object. This is what, dear learners, you have to know. So, the image is 58.5. The image has an area of 58.5. So this will be 58.5 here, all over 6.5. When you simplify that using a calculator, let us do it together. 58.5, let me see. Okay, 58.5 over 6.5. This simplifies to 9. So the area scale factor is 9. After getting that as 9, let's also get the determinant of the matrix of transformation. Let's get the determinant. How do you get the determinant? The product of elements in the main diagonal, that is k plus 2, being multiplied by k minus 1, minus the product of elements in the minor diagonal, given as 2 multiplied by 3. Let us see. This will be k squared minus k plus 2k minus 2, then you minus 6. So this evaluates to k squared plus k minus 2. I hope I'm not messing. Then minus 6. So this one can be simplified to k squared plus k minus 8. This is our determinant. That is our determinant of the matrix of transformation. Then you also need to know now that there is an existing relationship between the determinant of the matrix of transformation and the area scale factor, whereby the determinant of the matrix of transformation is usually equivalent to the area scale factor. This means that k squared plus k minus 8, it should be equal to 9. When you rearrange, this can be written as k squared plus k. This will be now minus 17. Should give you a 0. Should give you a 0 in that particular case. Having reached there, I'm looking for two numbers such that the sum, the product, will I be able to solve using this method? If it will not allow, I use, the sum is 1, the product is 17. Do we have numbers when you multiply, they'll give you exactly 17? We are figuring out numbers that when you multiply, you get negative 17, and when you add, you get a 1. What can be these numbers? What can be these numbers, ladies and gentlemen? Let us see it together. Let us see the question together. So determine all the possible values of k. Wait, let me see. I'm getting the area scale factor is 9. And I know that the area scale factor should be equivalent to the determinant of the matrix of transformation. Let me, I'm trying to see. Is there a way we can have this manipulated? Let me see. Give me a 9 on the other side. just trying to see. What about if I could have worked out that side and seen? They want with the possible values of k. Let me see. Let me say that k can be given as minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So our k will be given by minus b, which is now here minus 1, plus or minus the root of b squared, which is 1 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 17. This being divided by 2 times 1. So this will now become a negative 1 plus or minus, let me see. That will be, when I take 4 times 1 times negative 17, then 1 squared minus that's 69. The root of 69, you get 8.3. This is 8.3 over 2. This will mean that our k can be equal to, when I take negative 1 plus 8, negative 1 plus, let me start with negative 1 minus 8.3 divided by 2, negative 4.65, negative 4.65, or negative 1 plus 8.3 divided by 2, 1.325. That is how you should approach such a question, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you can approach such a question, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video with your other friends. Let us look at we are done with this question 14? Yes, that is excellent work. Let's look at now the second last question. We are now going to the second last question that requires critical thinking. It requires some critical thinking here. Let us see what the question has for us. A Form 4 physics student was provided with measurements of a metal block and was required to calculate its density. If he started by calculating the density as 2.40 over 12 times 5.0 times 3.02, determine the percentage error in the density of the metal block. First of all, let's get the actual density. It will be 2.40 over 12 times 5.0 times 3.02. This is going to give us, when you solve, let me do it and see what it is going to give me. I'm getting it as 2 over 151. 2 over 151. Then after that, let's get what is called the maximum density. For density to be maximum, then it means that the numerator should be bigger than the denominators here should be lower. This will be 2. Maybe let's get the limits. 2.405. Okay. I'm just trying to see how we can make this one here to work. 2.395. Yes. All over. If that is maximum, then these ones will become minimum. This will become 11.5 times 5. This will be times 4.95. This will be times 4.95 times 3.02 minus 0.005 3.015. This is giving us, let me do this multiplication, 4.95 times 11.5 95 times 11.5, then 2.405 divided by the answer. This is something like, say, 0.014012793. Then let me guess the minimum density. For density to be minimum, it means the numerator should be smaller. So the minimum value of that will be 0.5. Let me see. 2 point. This will be given by 2.395 all over. This will become now 12.5. The maximum values. This will become. You need to be very keen. You need to be very, very keen with these questions. I'm seeing many people tuning in. This is excellent work. Keep subscribing, liking, and sharing this particular video with your other friends so that they can also benefit from our online classes. Remember, all you need is an access to the internet, then a connection to a digital device, access to a digital device, then boom, you get the content live. So let us look at this particular part. Let us look at this particular part. This will be 12.5 times 5.05 times 3.025. What are you going to get when you get the minimum density here? This will be 12.5 times 5.05 times 3.025, then 2.395 divided by that. You get 0. This is 0.0125 423 42345. Then let us get what's called absolute error. Absolute error is maximum value, that is the 0.0140127993 minus the minimum, which is 0.0125 42345 being divided by 2. So we are going to get an absolute error of, our absolute error will now be equivalent to, allow I manipulate that point. I'm doing also it from my side right away. Remember, everything here is live. 0140 12 793. You minus that. Then which one was maximum? 012. I might have done it wrong. Let me see. 0.0140 127.93 minus 0.012 5,423,45. Then divide this by 2. This becomes 7.3522 times 10 power negative 4. Percentage error is given by absolute error 7.35224 times 10 power negative 4 over the actual, which is 2 over 151. Now multiply this by 100%. So when you let me divide this by 2 over 151, then times now 100%, I'm getting 5.550941.2%. That becomes the percentage error in that particular question. That becomes the percentage error in that particular question. If you feel you are gaining something, don't forget dropping a comment in the chat section. Allow now, after having looked at question 15 well, allow I go and take you guys through question number 16, which is the last question of our discussion tonight. Question number 16. The paper is a very standardized paper. You can see it has questions of standard quality. Question number 16. The table below shows the time in hours and the corresponding mass in milligrams of a growth culture of bacteria. You can see. On the grid provided, plot log to base 10 of m against t and draw the line of best fit. Use a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 2 hours in the t-axis and 2 centimeters to represent 0.2 units in the log to base 10 of m axis. Remember, we are plotting log m against t. Let me see, do we have any negative values? No. So what happens? Let us see how we can have this one done. The first thing, I'm drawing my scale, my axis, sorry. I'm drawing my axis. Remember, math is fun if you practice it on daily basis. It becomes just fun. Honestly speaking, before God, I enjoy things related to math, and I take it as part of my hobby. I don't know your take as a student following STEM Smart Academy. So on the this should be y against the x-axis. So in the y-axis, I'm going to plot log m. Log m goes all the way to 2 point that. Remember, they are saying on the y log m, 2 centimeters to represent 0.2 units on log m. 2 centimeters to represent 0.2 units. So if I look at this, log m, 0.2 units. I can have this as, let me see, 0.2 units. So what I'll do, I can start this as 0, 0.2. Can have this as 0. Let me see. 2 units, 0.2. Can have this as 0.6, 0.8. Remember, log m goes all the way to, okay, yeah, I can see 0.8. This is 1.0, 1.2. We can have here maybe 1.4, and this is log to base 10 of m. That is that axis. On the y-axis, on the x-axis, we are going to have t. T moves all the way from 0 to 12, and they are saying 2 centimeters to represent 2 hours from 0 to 12. 2 centimeters to represent 2 hours. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, like that. This is time in hours. So let us do the plotting. And to have this right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to round my values. And let me show you how we are going to do the rounding of these values, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to see. This is, look at it well. I can have this is 0 0.6, 1.3. Okay. 0 0.6, that is like saying at 0, I'll have it at 0 0.7. At 0, let me use a blue ink. At 0, 0 0.7 is here. Then, when t is equal to 2, this is at 1. 2 is at 1. Let me see. 2 is at 1 here. Then, 4 is at 1.3. 4 is at 1.3 here. 4 is at 1.3. 6 is at 1.6. Oh my gosh, do I have one? Goes up to 1.6. Oh my gosh, this goes all the way to 2.5. What could have been the best scale I could have used here now? It was beginning from 0.6. Okay, I can see the blunder I made, but I can rectify that. It is just a small mistake on my y-axis. My scale could not accommodate all my points. So allow I change them to accommodate all my points. Let me have it accommodate all my points this way. I'll have this as 0.6. Let me use still the red ink to make it very clear. This is 0.6 here. This is 0.8, 1.0, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6. Does it go up to 2? This goes up to 2. It goes up to 2.5. Let me see. What was the given scale? Have I skipped 0.6, 0.8, 1.2.4? I think the scale these people gave does not fit. The thing of 2 centimeters for 0.2 units is not working. Should be 1 centimeter for 0.2 units. Because this one is getting up to 1.8. I need to do for 1.2. No. This scale is not adding. The scale that could fit here is 1 centimeter for 0.2 units. That is another mistake that I've spotted there, because when we try fitting into that given scale, it is not giving what we expect. So That is just an issue, probably a typo from their side when they were giving the conditions. Let me, now I make it now very simple from my end. So this will be, can have here 0.6, 0.6, 0.8, 1.0, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8, 2.0, 2.2, 2.4, then 2.6. Does it exceed 2.6? Let me see again. Now that one caters for all the points. So at 0, we have 0.7. 0, then 0.7. Oh my God, what am I doing this time? What I'll do, allow I break this scale at this particular point. Let me do the breaking here. I've broken the y-axis so that I start exactly at 0.6. So 0.7, 0.7 is here. Remember the zigzag I've drawn is to break the scale. 1, 2, here. That's 0.7. Then at 2, we are at 1. 2, 1. 2, 1 is here. Then 4, 1.3. 4, 1.2. 3 is there. 6, 1.6. Let us see. 6, then 1.6 is here. Wonderful. 8, 1.9. Let us locate the 8, then the 1.9. 8 is here. 8, 1.9 is there. Then the 10, 2.2. 10 is at 2.2. Let us see. 10, 2.2 is here. Then we have 12, 2.5. 12 is here. Then we go to 2.5. 2.5 is there. Then once we are done with that, what we are going to do, we were told to draw a line of best fit. Allow I draw my line. Let us now draw the line. A line of best fit is a line that passes through majority of your points. You can see how my line is coming. Very, very simple question. Like that. Then after that, determine the gradient of the line. We are now supposed to determine the gradient of this line. To determine the gradient, I'll pick this point. I can pick any points. Let me do it this way. I can pick this point and this particular point. So this point here is 2, 1, and this point here is 6, 1.6. Then let us get the gradient. This is given by change in y over the change in x. When we talk about the change in y, that is 1.6 minus 1. But remember that is under log. Log 1.6 log 1.6 minus 1 all over 6 minus 2. So that will become log, when I take log 0.6 divided by 4, that will become, oh no, just a moment. This is like saying, I'm trying to see, that's log 6, log 1.6 divided by log, no, it will be 1.6 divided by 1, then the log of that, divided by 4. So the answer here is 0.051. Determine the y-intercept. The y-intercept is the point where the line is cutting the y-axis, and the value here is 0.7. It is cutting the y-axis at log 0.7. It is cutting it at log 0.7. The y-intercept is at log to base 10 of 0.7, which translates to, let me see, logs, okay, that is the log inverse of, okay, the log inverse of 0.7, that is 5, is it, yeah, it's at 5 grams, that's 5. And that is how you solve that particular question paper and get all your marks. Don't forget to subscribe, like,